Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Untrapping Product Teams. In today's episode, I have a special guest from my writing. He's Bjorn, a rebel developer. Hi everyone. Well, I need to tell you one thing. He's a bit grumpy, so don't mind about it.
Well, I'm not grumpy. The thing is, I challenge whatever doesn't work, which is everything.
Well, I'm telling you. Before the shooting, we were just exchanging and he's done with Scrum, that's what he told me.
Well, of course I'm done with that. I was promised many things that would be beautiful, deliver value soon, incrementally, but what happened is totally different. Scrum is a big bullshit, it just doesn't work for us. I wish Scrum would feel the power of my axe.
Let's try to understand why Bjorn is so mad about Scrum. He told me today he will share 4 traps he faced. And when I exchanged with him, I realized he's not alone in this world. Let's start with the first one. Bjorn told me he's mad about backlog management.
Hey Dave, I didn't tell you backlog management. I told you wish log management.
Okay, let's talk about wish log. Bjorn told me that actually teams don't do backlog management. It is sent to something else. I want to hear from you, Bjorn. What do you mean by that?
Well, I got to know that the backlog should contain items related to the product goal, but most companies just don't have the product goal. And how am I supposed to define what goes into the backlog? It's just a wish list. Whatever everyone in the company wants goes in. We have 1,737 items in the backlog. Can this be related to the product goal? Of course not. So I call this as a wish log. It goes everything in, and funny enough, nothing goes out.
I feel your pain, Bjorn. It's quite embarrassing if you imagine teams say they do Scrum, but one of the essence of Scrum is having a product goal. And the backlog should have everything related to that. But that seems not to be your case.
Yeah, it's not. We have no fucking goal. We just do whatever the management wants. And we think we do Scrum. Again, I need to use my axe.
Well, I can see how frustrated Bjorn is. But let's go to the second step. He said wish log, and now I wanted to talk about sprint planning.
Ah, you mean the feature planning?
No, I mean sprint planning. There is no such thing as feature planning in Scrum as far as I know.
Well, unnamed, there's not, but the reality is what happened is a feature planning. Because our crazy product owner comes to the sprint and he starts asking questions. How many star points did you deliver last time? And then we tell 37. He says, yeah, then let's aim for 39. And then we plan based on capacity the amount of features that fits our sprint. And you know what? It's frustrating. No matter what we do, it's never enough. I remember last sprint, I delivered 7 features, fixed 2 bugs and 2 technical debt. And the stakeholders were mad because one small feature was not delivered. So it's just a feature planning.
Well, that's such a bad scenario. It seems you delivered a lot, but the way you were talking, they were unrelated to a goal. I wonder which sprint goal were you pursuing? Could you tell me more about it?
Are you kidding me? Sprint goal. We have nothing related to that. We have a standard sprint goal, which is by the end of the sprint, we deliver all features.
Well, that's not a sprint goal at all. A sprint goal should empower you to make decisions. Like every day you talk to the other developers and then you figure out what you should do to get closer to the sprint goal.
Well, then let's talk about the daily trap.
Daily trap? What is that? So now let's move to the other common trap you told me. I understood as daily stand up, but you were telling me that is a daily trap? What is that?
Well, I already told you we have no goal for the sprint. So it means every single day is a chance for a new scope change. Our crazy product owner hijacks new topics. He comes to our daily and says, I want you to do this, and I want you to do that. And then, you know what? We don't know what we are doing, and it's a daily trap for all developers.
Oh my god, that's such a terrible scenario. So it means day in, day out, the product owner comes with new requests. And then you have to address that inside of the sprint. The problem is you have no sprint goal, so you cannot challenge. So, well, that's not Scrum at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I'm done with this thing. People are just lying to me. They say we do Scrum, but that's not what happens.
Well, that's a dreadful scenario. And unfortunately, I have seen that many times. The daily Scrum can be useful when we have a goal to pursue, because as a team, we figure out how to get there. But without that, well, we are like just dog chasing its own tail. Nothing else than that. But without a sprint goal, well, everything is arguably relevant. And then we need to discuss based on opinions. That's horrible. But now, let's come to the end of the sprint. Bjorn, you're telling me that by the end of the sprint, everyone is frustrated. And then when you go to the sprint review...
You mean boring review?
No, I mean the sprint review. At the end of the sprint, you present what you achieved as a team.
Well, it's boring. You could say actually, it's either a boring review or a sleeping therapy. Because stakeholders come and they are tired and they use the moment to sleep. Because whatever we are presenting, well, nobody cares. And I think our stakeholders couldn't care less. Namaste, bitch.
Well, Bjorn, I can see how disappointed you are with Scrum and the sprint review, but could you walk me through how your sprint review unfolds?
I need to correct you again. It's a boring review, not sprint review. What happens is the following. Ivor, our product owner, opens Jira and then he says, during this sprint, we committed to deliver 27 features, fix 7 bugs, and address 2 different technical debts. Unfortunately, we couldn't deliver all the things, and we missed 3 features, and let me walk you through all the things we've done. And then he started going ticket by ticket, and at this moment, stakeholders are yawning or doing something else, but not in the room. So this is a big bullshit.
Phew, my god, how can you deal with that?
I can't. I just want to show them my hacks. I tell them all the time. I'm tired of this.
And this is what I'm telling you. Bjorn is the guy who is rebel. He names the elephant in the room and he can't get tired of fighting.
Yeah, I am a fighter and I want to change this. We cannot work like that any longer. I wish people would listen to me more.
Okay, Bjorn, I think you walk us through many anti-patterns and you gave us hint what not to do. You mentioned wish log. Without a product goal, everything goes in and we cannot ensure the product backlog makes sense.
Yeah, that's why we have a wish log. Nobody has a fucking product backlog.
Well, yeah, that's what you named. And then when it comes to the sprint planning, you said actually it descends to feature planning. So we need to have the goal, that is pretty important, the order of things. First we start with the goal and then we can go to the planning.
Yeah, but we should have a different goal per sprint. It cannot be by the end of the sprint we deliver features. That's not a goal.
And then you named the third one, which you called as the daily trap. Hijacking new things into the daily scrum because of a lack of a goal. I can see that. And then I think the other one you mentioned is related to the collaboration and how you bring stakeholders in. You said that it's boring, they don't pay attention, they couldn't care less, so you were quite aggressive there. But now I want to hear from you. How would you change whatever you are doing now to do proper Scrum?
Well, I'm not sure if we can change that without being aggressive, brutal. First thing is, we need to agree on one goal and define a product goal. From that, we can prioritize our product backlog and not a wish log. And if we would have that, our sprints could be focused. Because the trap now is we have no focus. We are a fragmented team. How can we conquer the world like that? It's impossible. We need to join forces. So I wish our product owner would fight with the stakeholders, would be brave, would challenge the status quo, and find goals to pursue instead of features to implement. That's what I would do. But you know what? They are not brave enough to do that. So I need to challenge them all the time.
Well, I feel like these are nuggets of knowledge. Bjorn, you are super wise. And I wish more developers would be like you, challenge product owners. And you product owners, if you do what Bjorn is saying, I think you can get more value by the end of each sprint. And you can deliver value incrementally. So that's what we had for today. I hope you can benefit from Bjorn's perspective. He's a bit rebel, grumpy.
I'm not grumpy, I'm telling you.
Well, you know that, right? He's just challenging, but he wants to do the thing right. He just doesn't want to waste his time. Now let's just wrap up the video. Generally I do that, but now I want my special guest doing that.
It was a nice conversation with you. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget, subscribe to get more videos like this. I will be back.